Further debate on the SJR. Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for debate on the SJR. Further debate on the SJR. Senator Hamilton, you're recognized for debate on the SJR.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, you know that I'm going to vote no on this, and I urge you to do the same. Whether or not you disagree with me on my, what some would call extreme stance on abortion, the bottom line is that this resolution is risky. We're basing our assumption that this is going to pass on poll numbers. We're putting before a vote of the people a basic human right, something that Thomas Jefferson in 1776 called a self-evident truth. In a constitutional republic, rights are not subject to a majority vote. And this is dangerous. It sets a dangerous, dangerous precedent. We should absolutely amend our Constitution so that there are no loopholes whatsoever for a court to wiggle their way out of and fail to administer justice. But I call your attention to our depiction of Lady Justice. Lady Justice wears a blindfold, and she has the scales in her hand. The blindfold states that she doesn't look at who the plaintiff or who the defendant is, but this bill clearly does. We punish the death of the preborn as manslaughter. We punish the death of those already born as murder. Lady Justice is also depicted with the scales. The scale symbolizes equality, that every man is equal before the law. No man is above it, and no man or child in utero is below it. This Senate joint resolution flies in the face of that. And without stating explicitly, the implication is undeniable that those who do not have a voice are beneath the law. I'll also add that Senate joint resolutions pass the buck. It is our duty in the legislature to solve these problems and not pass this on. Before we pass this on to a vote of the people and shrug our shoulders, we must first take our action and do our due diligence in this chamber and enact statutes, which we've enacted statute after statute after statute. I mentioned the 9 pro-life laws from last year. How are those working out? We've got people coming up from Texas to procure abortions here in Oklahoma. And I would argue that we are a far more conservative state than Texas is, far more dedicated to the principles of God, family, and country than they are. And yet people come from there to here. We should be ashamed of that. We also fail to administer justice, which is a God-ordained, God-commanded function of government, with our classification of this as manslaughter. Leonardo da Vinci said, "He who does not punish evil commands it to be done." 4 years is not a sufficient penalty for the crime of premeditated murder. First-degree manslaughter, when it's not accidental, refers to a crime of passion. Abortion can hardly be considered a crime of passion. It meets the very definition of malice aforethought and premeditation. And I understand the desire of everybody in this chamber to extend mercy and grace to a woman who finds herself in a difficult situation. I share that. But my desire for justice trumps, I won't say it trumps, but it is the other side of the mercy coin. Mercy and justice. Those are two sides to the same coin. Justice without mercy is cruelty. Mercy without justice is softness. This bill is reckless. It's a shirking of responsibility. If the shoe fits, kick it off. And again, Don't take this as judgmental or accusatory, because if it's not true of me right now, I guarantee it'll be true of me at some point in the future. But it's been true of all of us. It's been true of each of us at some point. We've shirked our responsibilities since Adam in the garden, which is the reason that we find ourselves debating questions like this today. I'm asking you to stop the insanity and say with me, not today. Thank you.